Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 24th October 2024. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. And I will start with finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. During this process, I will also identify daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. Okay, let me start with half-yearly time frame. Let us find the stocks near half-yearly demand zone. One stock is filtered. I'm giving you only few seconds time to watch this report. I request you pause the video. You can study the report and then you can proceed further. In case if you don't understand how to study this report, I request you complete our training lesson 21.1. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values and abbreviations in detail. Okay, next for half-yearly time frame, let us find the stocks near half-yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. I'm going back and changing the time frame to quarterly. Let us find the stocks near quarterly demand zone. Two stocks are filtered. Next, for quarterly time frame, let us find the stocks near quarterly supply zone. Two stocks are filtered. Next time frame is monthly. Let's find the stocks near monthly demand zone. 9 stocks are filtered. Next, for monthly time frame, let us find the stocks near monthly supply zone. 2 stocks are filtered. Next, for monthly time frame, let's find the stocks near monthly supply zone. Sorry, already we generated monthly supply zone, right? Yeah. Next time frame is weekly. Let us find the stocks near weekly demand zone. 13 stocks are filtered. Next, for weekly time frame, let's find the stocks near weekly supply zone. 9 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is daily. Entry time frame daily, let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. 12 stocks are filtered near to the daily demand zone. Let's identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. ITC is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. That's it. We identified only one daily high liquidity daily demand zone from this list. Okay, next for a daily time frame, let us find the stocks near daily supply zone. One stock is filtered and it is not a high liquidity daily supply zone. Next time frame is 125 minutes. So let's find the stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. 9 stocks are filtered. Next 125 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. Again 9 stocks are filtered. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. 14 stocks are filtered. Let's identify the high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Exide Industries is a high liquidity 75 minutes supply zone. Havels is a high liquidity 75 minutes supply zone. This is a pierced zone, not valid. Next, SBI Life is having a high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. Next, Tata Chemicals is having a high liquidity demand zone. TVS Motors is pierced, so it's not valid. So total we identified 4 valid high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Okay, next for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. 10 stocks are filtered. Let's identify high liquidity 75 minute supply zones, if any. So Nestle is having a high liquidity 75 minute supply zone. Next, PEL is having a high liquidity 75 minute supply zone. That's it. So we identified 2 high liquidity 75 minute supply zones from this list. Okay, next time frame is 25 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Next, for 25 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. 6 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Let's identify any of these stocks are having a ITF demand zone confluence, that is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I'm enabling this filter. Let's verify. So none of those 3 stocks are having a ITF confluence. Next, for 15 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. 6 stocks are filtered. Let's verify any of these 6 stocks are having ITF confluence, supply zone confluence. That is a 15 minute supply zone confluence with 75 minute supply zone confluence. I'm enabling the filter. So these 2 stocks are having a ITF supply zone confluence. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. 6 stocks are filtered. Let's verify any of these 5 minutes demand zones are having ITF confluence. That is 5 minutes demand zone confluence with 15 minutes demand zone. I'm enabling the filter. Let's verify. So these 2 demand zones are having ITF, but second one is already pierced zone. You can ignore it. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 5 minutes supply zone. 8 stocks are filtered. Let's verify ITF supply zone confluence in these 8 stocks. That is 5 minutes supply zone confluence with 15 minutes supply zone. I'm enabling this filter. 4 stocks are filtered. In these 4 supply zones, ITF zones are, the 5 minute supply zones are part of the 15 minute supply zone. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. Now let's identify NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Let's start with NIFTY. Nifty 50. Let's start with the monthly time frame. So I'm generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So this is the monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Always look into the pierced column to check any of the zones are pierced. If the pierced count is not 0, the count is above 0, they are pierced zones. And always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. So monthly, here monthly time frame is selected. Monthly trend is LTF trend. Similar way, one time frame higher, that is a quarterly trend. Similarly, one time frame higher, this is yearly trend. So this is the way you should understand the remaining reports. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are shifting from one report to another report. Okay, next time frame is weekly, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Okay, next time frame is daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 125 minutes, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 75 minutes, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 25 minutes, generating 25 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 15 minutes, generating 15 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. The next time frame is 5 minutes, generating 5 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Let me scroll the list down. These are the next set of demand zones. So this is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Now let's generate for BANKNIFTY. That is nothing but Nifty Bank. And let me set the time frame as monthly and generating monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is weekly, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is 125 minutes, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is 75 minutes, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is 25 minutes, generating 25 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is 15 minutes, generating 15 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is 5 minutes, generating 5 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. With this we have completed both Nifty and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next we will generate bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades. Let's start with monthly income trade bullish trade setup. Entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at daily time frame, I am selecting bullish. The daily demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at a daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0, which means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. And zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhanced score is 12. All the three filters are applied to daily demand zone. So let's verify. So we got 18 stocks. All these 18 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. That is entry time frame daily. Now let's verify how many of these zones are having high probability setup supported stocks out of these 18. So first filter we will verify LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is the daily and weekly demand zone confluence. That means daily demand zone is part of the weekly demand zone. So daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence filter I enabled. So with this filter we got 10 stocks. Out of 18, these 10 stocks are filtered. All these 10 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade, and also the entry time frame daily zones are part of the weekly zones. Weekly is ITF. Because weekly trend is uptrend. ITF trend is uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. If these weekly zones are having, because daily zone is part of weekly zone, if the weekly zone is having weekly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. So let's verify. In the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, weekly demand zone should have weekly EMA confluence. So I enabled the filter. So out of 5 stocks are filtered. These 5 stocks are currently supporting high probability setup supported bullish trade setup stocks for monthly income trade. This is as per ITF confluence and EMA confluence at ITF time frame. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. Already 1 filter is enabled. That is daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. 2 more filters. Daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. And weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence are also enabled. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF, demand zone confluence supported stocks are filtered. These 4 stocks are filtered. In these 4 stocks, daily zone is part of the weekly zone, both together again part of the monthly zone. Everything is part of monthly zone. And monthly trend is uptrend in all the 4 stocks. If they are having monthly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at monthly time frame, monthly demand zone with monthly EMA confluence filter is enabled. All the 4 stocks are having monthly EMA confluence. So all these 4 stocks are also high probability setup stocks. Earlier we identified ITF confluence based, and now HTF confluence based. So these are the high probability setup supported stocks. Next, let us look for bearish trade setup for monthly income trade, entry time frame daily, entry zone, supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at daily, I am selecting bearish. The daily supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at a daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score is 12. All the 3 filters are applied to daily supply zone. Let's verify. We got 3 stocks. Currently, these 3 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. That is entry time frame, daily, entry zone, supply zone. Let's verify if any of these supply zones are supporting high probability setups. So first, let us look for ITF confluence. So in the supply zone confluence, daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence filter enabled. Let's verify. Out of 3, these 2 stocks are filtered. These 2 stocks are having a ITF confluence. That means daily supply zone is part of the weekly supply zone. And any of these stocks, these 2 stocks are having weekly EMA confluence. They are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, because daily zone is part of weekly. If weekly zone, supply zone is having weekly EMA confluence, they are high probability. 1 stock is filtered. So it is a high probability setup supported stock. It is even more high probability. And moreover, the zone is also high liquidity zone, the daily zone. The high daily supply zone. Okay, now let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks, if any. Let's find. I am removing this EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. Already 1 filter is enabled. That is the daily supply zone with weekly supply zone is already enabled. I am enabling daily supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence, and also weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the three filters, LTF, ITF, HTF, supply zone confluence, we did not get any stocks. Okay, next let us look for bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. For weekly income trade, entry time frame is 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting bullish. The 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum order enhancer score 12. And all the three filters are applied to 75 minutes demand zone. We got 10 stocks. All these 10 stocks currently supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes. All these demand zones are 75 minutes demand zones. Okay, in these demand zones, we need to identify high probability supported demand zones, 75 minutes demand zones. For that, let us look for ITF confluence. That is 75 minutes demand zone should be having confluence with daily demand zone. So in the demand zone confluence, I am enabling the filter 75 minutes demand zone with the daily demand zone confluence. That means 75 minutes demand zone is part of the daily demand zone. 6 stocks are filtered. In all these 6 stocks, 75 minutes and all these 75 minutes demand zones are part of the daily demand zone. And the daily demand zone, that is ITF zone, trend is uptrend. Let's verify any of these 6 stocks are having a daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence, because 75 minutes zone is part of the daily zone and daily demand zone is having daily EMA confluence. They are more high probability setup stocks. So in the daily time frame, daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence, because 75 minute zone is part of this daily zone. One stock is filtered, so it is a high probability supported demand zone. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. Removing this EMA filter. So in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. One is already enabled. That is the daily that is 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone is already enabled. Next filter, daily demand zone with weekly demand zone, I am enabling, and also daily demand zone confluence with weekly demand zone also I am enabling. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF, we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, 75 minutes demand zone is part of the daily demand zone, both together again part of the weekly demand zone. Okay, LTF, ITF, HTF. In the 3 stocks, second stock, 4th and 5th are having uptrend. If any of those 3 stocks are having weekly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Let's verify if any are supported. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. Oh, all the 3 are having uptrend, are having a weekly EMA confluence. Second one you can ignore because it is a sideways. Sideways EMA confluence does not add any additional advantage. But uptrend EMA confluence is a high probability scenario. So first, 3rd and 4th are high probability setup scenarios for LTF, ITF, HTF confluence, and also the weekly zone is having weekly EMA confluence. Okay, next let us look for bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, that is entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish. The 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum order enhancer score 12. All the 3 filters are applied to 75 minute supply zone. Let's verify. We got 10 stocks. All these 10 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. That is entry time frame 75 minutes, zone is supply zone. Now out of these 10, how many are having a high probability supported supply zones are having? So first let us look for ITF, LTF supply zone confluence. that is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. So here 75 minutes supply zone with daily supply zone confluence filter I enabled. 5 stocks are filtered. In all these 5 stocks, 75 minute supply zones are part of the daily supply zone. Because the daily trend is downtrend, if any of these 5 stocks are having daily EMA confluence with the daily supply zone, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. So in the EMA confluence, daily time frame. Why daily time frame? Because 75 minute supply zone is part of the daily supply zone. That's why in the daily supply zone is having daily EMA confluence. It is a high probability setup. 2 stocks are filtered. These 2 stocks are even more high probability setup supported stocks because the supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF related probability stocks, high probability setup stocks. So removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we need to set 3 filters. One filter is already enabled, that is 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone already enabled. So 2 more filters, 75 minute supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence, daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence are also enabled. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF, supply zone confluence, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, 75 minute supply zone is part of the daily supply zone, both together again part of the weekly supply zone. And these weekly zones are having downtrend in all the 3. If any of these weekly zones are having weekly EMA confluence, that stock is even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence filter is enabled. We got 1 stock. This is a even more high probability setup supported stock. So this is about bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, let us look for daily income trade related stocks. For bullish trade setup, daily income trade, entry time frame is 15 minutes, entry zone is demand zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting bullish. The 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value I am setting 0. That means zone is not pierced. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 12. With all the 3 filters are applied to 15 minutes demand zone, we got 5 stocks. All these 5 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. That is entry time frame 15 minutes. So in these 15 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability supported stocks might be available. Let's verify. So let's look for ITF confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone confluence with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. So I am enabling that filter. So with this filter, we got 5 stocks. All the 5 stocks are having ITF confluence. That means 15 minutes demand zone is part of the 75 minutes demand zone. And these demand zones, 75 minutes demand zones are uptrend because they are bullish trade setup. If those demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame. Why 75 minutes? Because 15 minutes entry zone is part of the 75 minute zone. That's why 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence filter we set. Let's verify. We got 1 stock. So this is a high probability setup stock, and also the 15 minutes demand zone is also a high liquidity zone. Okay, next high probability scenario is LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. So let's verify because we got 5 stocks with ITF and HTF confluence. In that, how many are having LTF and ITF confluence? In that, how many are having HTF confluence? So in the demand zone confluence, we need to set 3 filters. 1 filter is already set, 15 minutes with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Next filter, 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. And 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence filters also enabled. Now let's verify. We got two stocks. So these two stocks are having a LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. That means 15 minutes demand zone is part of the 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again part of the daily demand zone. But daily trend is sideways. Sideways EMA confluence does not add any additional advantage. So we are not looking for EMA confluence. Daily EMA confluence I am not verifying, because the trend is sideways in both these stocks. HTF trend, that is a daily trend. Okay, next let us look for bearish trade setup, daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish. The 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, the minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value I am setting 0. Zone achievement is a violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. All the three filters are applied to 15 minute supply zone. 8 stocks are filtered. All these 8 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. That is entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. So within these 8 supply zones, there could be high probability supply zones might be available, 15 minute supply zones. Further, let us look for ITF confluence, that is a 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. We have to enable that filter. So I am enabling the filter 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 6 stocks are filtered. All these 6 stocks are having ITF confluence, that is 15 minute supply zone is part of the 75 minute supply zone. And the 75 minutes trend is a downtrend. If they are having daily EMA confluence, they are even high probability setups, the 75 minute supply zones. Why 75 minute supply zones? Because 15 minute supply zone is part of the 75 minute supply zone. So in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence we are verifying, because 15 minute supply zone is part of the 75 minute supply zone. We got 2 stocks are filtered. So these 2 stocks are having a daily EMA confluence, the 75 minute zones. These 2 stocks, the 15 minute supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zones. Those 75 minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. So these 2 are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Okay, now let's look for LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. So I am removing this EMA filter. Now let me verify in the these are the supply zones. 15 minute in the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. Already we set 1 filter, that is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone. Next filter, 15 minute supply zone with daily supply zone I am enabling, and also 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence also enabled. With all the 3 LTF, ITF, HTF confluence, we got 2 stocks. So in these 2 stocks, 15 minutes entry zone is part of the 75 minute zone, both together again part of the daily zone. And the second one, Tata Motors, is a HTF trend is downtrend. If it is having daily EMA confluence, it is even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, daily time frame, daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence filter. We got both stocks are filtered, but first one is sideways trend, daily trend. So EMA confluence does not add any advantage. But Tata Motors trend is a downtrend, but supply zone is having daily EMA confluence, and the 15 minutes supply zone is part of the 75, both together again part of the daily supply zone. And the daily supply zone is having downtrend, and also the daily supply zone is having a daily EMA confluence. That way it is a high probability setup stock, Tata Motors. So this is about a bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, let us look for hourly income trades. For bullish trade setup hourly income trade, entry time frame is 5 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bullish. The 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone. Minimum odd and hands score is 12. All the 3 filters are applied to 5 minutes demand zone. Now let's verify. We got 4 stocks. These 4 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for hourly income trade, that is entry time frame 5 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone. In these 5 demand zone, how many of these demand zones are having high probability setups? That means the 5 minutes demand zone should be having confluence with 15 minutes demand zone. Let's verify. So in the demand zone confluence, I am enabling the filter. 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. With this filter, out of 4 stocks, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 are having high probability setups because 5 minutes demand zone is part of the 15 minutes demand zone. And moreover, these 2 5 minutes demand zone are also high liquidity zones. Because 5 minute zone is part of 15 minute zone, if any of these 15 minute zones are having daily EMA confluence, they could be even more high probability. But 15 minutes level finding EMA confluence is not easy. So that, but anyway, let's verify. In the EMA confluence, 15 minutes time frame, 15 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence filter. We did not get any stocks, no issues. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. With ITF, LTF and ITF, we got 2 stocks, right? In these 2, any HTF confluence, let's verify. So in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. First filter is already enabled, that is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone. Next, 5 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence filter enabled. 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence is also enabled. 5 minutes with 15 minutes with 75, 5 minutes with 75, 5 minutes with 15 minutes, all the 3 filters are enabled. We got 2, both the stocks are having even HTF confluence. Now, because now 5 minute zone is part of 15 minutes demand zone, both together again part of the 75 minutes demand zone. If this 75 minutes demand zone, the HTF trend is sideways, so no need to look for EMA confluence. Sideways trend, we don't look for EMA confluence. Okay. So this is about bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, let us look for bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bearish. And the 5 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum odd and hands score 12. With all the 3 filters, all the 3 filters are applied to 5 minute supply zone, and we got 9 stocks. All these 9 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade, that is entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Now out of these 9 supply zones, how many are having high probability setup supported stocks? So further, let's look for LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone confluence. That means 5 minute supply zone should be part of the 15 minute supply zone. So filter is enabled. Now let's verify. Out of 9, 6 stocks are filtered. In all these 6 stocks, the 5 minute supply zones are part of the 15 minute supply zones. And the 15 minutes trend is a downtrend. If any of these 15 minutes zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at 15 minutes time frame, 15 minutes supply zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 1 stock. So this supply zone is a high probability setup supported supply zone. Okay, now let us look for another combination LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. I have to remove this EMA filter. I removed it. Now we need to add 3 filters for the supply zone confluence. In that, one is already enabled, that is 5-minute supply zone with 15-minute supply zone already enabled. Now 2 more filters, 5-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence, 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. In all these 4 stocks, 5-minute supply zone is part of the 15-minute supply zone, both together again part of the 75-minute supply zone. So in this list, first and fourth stocks are having downtrend. If those are 2 stocks, if any of those 75-minute zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, at 75 minutes time frame, 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence. Why 75 minute supply zone? Because 5 minutes and 15 minutes together again, they are part of the 75 minute zone. And the 75 minute zone trend is downtrend. 2 stocks. And if they are having EMA confluence, it is an even more high probability setup. So one stock is filtered, but it is 75 minutes trend is sideways. But anyway, it is same stock is supported with ITF confluence. ITF trend is downtrend. ITF zone is having a EMA confluence. That way it is a high probability setup supported stock. Okay, we got one stock. So this is about bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. And in the final report, let's generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, that includes all sectorial indices, and remaining all are equity stocks, but these stocks are filtered based on the stocks listed in F&O, but these are all equity stocks. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video. I'm scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.